Hey there guys, so today I am doing a comparison of the ZTE Blade Zmax versus the Alcatel Pulse Mix. Now I was recommended this by someone else, and as you can see I'm getting notifications on one while the other doesn't really have much notifications yet. But for what it's worth, let's really just get into this. So I'm going to start off with specs. So this is the ZTE Blade Zmax, this is the Alcatel Pulse Mix. The ZTE Blade Zmax is Metro PCS while the Alcatel Pulse Mix is Cricket. So the Pulse Mix has a spec of 2 gigabytes of RAM, 16 gigabytes of storage, a metal back design, which I like a lot. So the back of the phone is metal. It has a 720p 5.2-inch display, which is okay to me. It's eh. And then it has an 8 megapixel rear camera. It has a 2 megapixel selfie cam with flash. Has a 1.5 GHz quad-core Snapdragon 435 processor, 2800 mAh battery, USB-C charger, no fast charging though, Android 7.1.1, and up to 128 GB micro SD card insertable. Now the ZTE Blade Zmax has 2 gigabytes of RAM, 32 gigabytes of storage, a plastic design which I personally don't mind, a 1080p 6-inch display which I like a lot better, a 16 megapixel main and 2 megapixel secondary dual camera, so the main camera captures everything well, and the secondary camera does a little bit of detailing, so if you close it up, you may not notice too much of a difference, but the detail isn't there as much. And then a 5 megapixel main camera, no flash at all, has a 1.5 gigahertz quad-core Snapdragon 435 processor. They both have the same processor, they both have the same 2 gigabytes of RAM, but it has a 4880 milliamp hour battery, USB-C quick charge capable 2.0 quick charge, I think it was, Android 7.1.1, up to 256 gigabyte micro SD card insertable into fingerprint sensor. So the first thing I do want to talk about is the performance. Now for the amount of time that I have used this device, both of these devices, I really haven't noticed any slowdowns at all for any of them at all. Like, no slowdowns, nothing. They are both really fast, and you will not notice any slowdowns unless you compare the two phones side by side, which I'm doing now. And the apps I have all used open up fast, and the camera performed well and opened up fast and snap pictures really quickly. So, what I want to do is, I want to just go through opening up some apps. So, what I will do here is I will open up the stock dialer. I will open up messages. I'll open up Chrome. I will open up the camera. And as you can see, this one is performing a little bit better in some stuff. Now I'm going to open up the Google folder. I will open up Maps. And that one opened up faster. So some stuff is opened up faster on this phone, while some stuff are opened up faster on this phone. We will see what RAM management does, though. YouTube, as I open up some of the apps too, they will be open. So this one opened up faster than that one. Now we will open up Play Music. Okay. Now I am going to go into the recent apps here. Recent. And I'm going to go all the way up till I get to phone 3, 2, 1. That one had to refresh itself. 3, 2, 1. Refresh itself. 3, 2, 1. That one had to refresh itself again. Whoops. Then now for the camera. That one had to refresh itself. This one also did. Now we're going to go on to Maps. They both had to refresh themselves in this one. This one loaded up faster, though. And now YouTube. This one had to refresh itself, and that one also did. You can also decide down below for yourself. Comment down below what you really think. They both had to, this one didn't refresh itself. Well, this one did. And that's really it. Now, the clear all button. And for what it's worth, also, they both get approximately the same Geekbench scores. I don't even know if I ran one on this phone yet. If I did, it should be right here. The Geekbench for this one is also right here. History, So I ran one over here, history, I ran one over here. As you can see, this one does have a lower Geekbench score than this one apparently. And operating system, blah, blah, blah. 8-core processor, while this one has a 5-core processor, so this one should be better. And now I want to talk about screen. So this is a topic that may make or break for some people on a phone. Some of that would make me want to purchase or not want to purchase because of, personally myself, I would actually look at a phone and not want to purchase if it doesn't look good. Like I had a Tempo X, washed out display, I wouldn't want to buy it. So the Alcatel Pulse Mix has a 720p vibrant display. It looks nice, not as good as this one though, as the Blade Zmax. But the colors don't look washed out, they look beautiful. It's looking crisp and clear, but again, not as clear as the Zmax. The glass screen they put on is great, and also means that selfies will turn out great on the phone. Even though the camera's not the best, it still turns out okay. So the ZTE Blade Zmax has a 1080p screen. It looks very vibrant and no washed out colors either. And I think this looks more vibrant than the Pulse Mix, as I said, but not by much. And you can probably see yourself, the screen really doesn't look too much more vibrant than the other one. And it also makes for excellent crisp, clear selfies, and I think the selfie camera is better on this one than that one for sure. Hence the resolution, and also I just think this one looks better. And now for speakers. So the speakers on both are extremely different. The Blade Zmax has an excellent speaker, while the Pulse Mix is a very bad speaker. Even with the Dolby Audio app disabled on the Blade Zmax, it outperformed the Pulse Mix by 100%. The Pulse Mix has a tinny speaker that I do not think should be on any phone for this price. The Blade Zmax, on the other hand, has an excellent speaker that is great for the price. It sounds clear and has a decent amount of bass for a smartphone speaker. The only way to make the Pulse Mix sound better is buying this $50 snapback cover for the back of the phone. I think it is ridiculous that you need to spend $50 to get good sound for portability. Now, on both of these, I am going to load up a YouTube video here. I will look up NCS here. Whoa. Okay. Click. And what I will do is I will just click on the second one here.
You wouldn't do only half of your daily routine, so why treat your mouth any differently? Complete the job with Listerine. Help prevent plaque, early gum disease, bad breath, and kill up to 99.9% of germs. Listerine. Bring out the bold.
So I want you to hear a speaker here. This is the Blade Zmax, has a back-firing speaker, rear-firing speaker right over here. So let's hear what this sounds like. So now we're going to go on to this with its full volume. As you can see, I will make it full volume. The same distance away also. Like, it sounds tinny, it sounds garbagey, it sounds bad. Now, as for one other feature now is design. Could also make or break it for people on a phone. So let's just talk about that design aspect first. So they definitely both have different designs to them. The Alcatel Pulse Mix has a blockier design, being thick, while the Blade Zmax is a more modern, slimmer design. The Pulse Mix, as you can see, does have a full metal design to it. It has a full metal design, and I will take this off just so you can hear it better. And back of the phone, like, it feels nice. There's a metal design to it, and the Blade Zmax has a cooler, smaller bezel design. The back of the phone feels sort of like a plasticky, rubbery feeling to it. Feels nice, and it's grippier, so it makes you feel like you don't want to drop it. With that, like, you can drop it without a case. The back side of the back is curved from a monitor, make it easier to hold and maneuver. The camera on both of these phones are both different. On both in the top left, though, like the iPhone dual camera and the Blade Zmax has the iPhone-esque camera. And the Blade Zmax has a fingerprint sensor on the back to make it easier to open up the phone while you're using it. Just unlock it by just going like this. Boom. Whoops. Boom, it's unlocked. But otherwise, I think that the Blade Zmax is better because of that fingerprint sensor. Now, the main differences between the phones are the Blade Zmax and the Pulse Mix definitely have different differences to sell you to them. So the Blade Zmax is a really cool dual camera and fingerprint sensor. The Pulse Mix has a meh single camera, no fingerprint sensor. They both have USB-C, but the Blade Zmax, as I mentioned earlier, has Quick Charge 2.0 built into it, so you can use any Quick Charge. I don't have any around me, but Quick Charge 2.0 adapters, I have them all plugged into my wall right now. The Quick Charge 2.0 adapters, at least. So the phone camera on the Pulse Mix has an LED flash built in, but to me that's not enough to make it lack any quality in the selfie camera. The Blade Zmax is an excellent front selfie camera. The buttons on the front are both capacitive touch buttons, so as you can see here, capacitive, and then this one has just hidden LED light style ones. This also lights up. This is the LED light here, and that's the LED light over there. And now onto battery. So now, how do they both perform throughout a day? On both these, I played a game, made 5 phone calls about 30 minutes each, and streamed 3 YouTube videos. The Pulse Mix is a 2800 battery, which lasts me all day. At the end of the day, I'm on battery saver, so it'll last even longer. With battery saver on, it stays at 15% for a while. The Blade Zmax, on the other hand, has a 4080 mAh battery. It lasts me 24 hours before I need to recharge. I did the same exact thing in the Pulse Mix, and the Blade Zmax lasts me 24 hours really before I need to recharge. After the second day of using the phone, after day's over, the phone goes to power saving mode. The power saving mode has the same effect as the other. So each phone does have a different camera, for sure, 100%. The Blade Zmax is a dual rear camera, while the Pulse has a single. The dual rear camera is 16 megapixel primary and a 2 megapixel secondary, which is used for portrait mode and to capture image quality. And the selfie camera on the Blade Zmax is a 5 megapixel selfie camera, which I think looks excellent. Now, as for the Alcatel Pulse Mix, it's an 8 megapixel rear camera, which is disappointing to me. I'm disappointed about it. And the front, it's fast taking pictures though, but the dynamic range isn't really there, so the pictures don't come out the same quality. And the selfie cam is the 2 megapixel camera with a built-in flash. And for what it's worth, it's nothing I really want to have the privilege of sharing online. I would never share it on Instagram. So I think it's just like snapping between your friends so you don't feel embarrassed type of thing. So each phone performs really well in the testing, in real world testing, but the only thing that would compel me to want to buy the Alcatel Pulse Mix is for $80 is if they threw in one of the snapback covers that I feel are a gimmick or a Moto Mod competitor as they want to make it feel. The Blade Zmax for me really feels nice, and it's something that I would not mind carrying around, and I would not mind using at all, as I don't. I used it for a month and I loved it. Well, I mean, I used it for a month or so, and I loved it. The speaker on the Pulse Mix is so bad that for $80 I would never buy it. The Blade Zmax is a device, in my opinion, that's worth it value-wise, dollar to dollar. Well, performance to dollar, specs to dollar, whatever you want to call it, dollar to dollar-wise. The Alcatel Pulse Mix just feels like a rip off compared to it. Leave your comments down below on what you feel is cooler or the better buy, and tell me why. Also, if that subscribe button is red, that means you are not subscribed and you're not missing out on these videos. Also, make sure to hit the bell icon to be notified of videos in this feature, and as for now, just enjoy the rest of your day.